the Tennessee Titans. One and done for the second consecutive year in the postseason with a defensive performance against Cincinnati that was on par, if not better, than what San Francisco did. San Francisco sacked Rodgers 5 times and then had a game plan that just kept that high-powered offense from moving the football. They only gained like 230 yards total offense against San Francisco. Earlier in the day on Saturday, the Tennessee Titans sacked Joe Burrow 9 times, really 11 times. 2 sacks didn't count because the whistle was blown after the play had started.
One for a timeout, one for a delay of game.
And they sack him 9 times officially, hit him multiple times. They only allow 1 touchdown, and that was running. They didn't allow a passing touchdown at all in this afternoon. And here is the Titans offense with everybody back that was inept, that played small in the biggest moments of the game, both the run and the pass, and they go home with a great opportunity at stake to host the AFC Championship game with a chance to advance to the Super Bowl, and it's all for naught. Credit Cincinnati and Joe Burrow, who just kept coming back, and we knew he would. I mean, the guy's been hit and sacked more than anybody this year and steps up and makes some fantastic throws throughout the season, and he did in the biggest moments. You know, they found Jamar Chase. Jamar Chase's only catch beyond the line of scrimmage was on the final catch that set up the game-winning field goal.
This was just a gut-wrenching loss for the Titans. I was out there this morning, and Jeffrey Simmons and Kevin Byard, the 2 best players on the defense with a lot of very good players, are talking about how to take it to the next level, the defense has to get more turnovers. They're lamenting their inability to get takeaways against Cincinnati in a game where they got 9 sacks. They can't lament the real problem, which is Ryan Tannehill threw the ball away 3 times. Really bad interceptions that just put this team in a hole it could not dig out of. Would it be nice if the defense got takeaways and was the 85 Bears? Sure. But what would be nice is if it could count on the offense not to gift wrap the ball to Cincinnati, especially the last one when the Titans were taking too much time but could have conceivably wound up with a long field goal to win the game, or at the very least wind up in overtime. Ryan Tannehill throws for Nick Westbrook-Akina, who's double covered with Eli Apple getting a hand in there and leading to an interception. When Anthony Ferkser standing wide open, you know, a couple degrees over to the middle, could have gotten a first down and kept things moving. Ryan Tannehill, and we talked about this last weekend, could have changed the perception of himself as a postseason quarterback. Instead, he exponentially enhanced it. Well, and if this team is going to advance, he's definitely on this team next year because of money. If they're going to win, he's got to be game manager, mistake-free, and they've got to win it with defense and the running game. This guy appears incapable of lifting this team in high-pressure moments. Hutton and I were texting each other. He was tight. He threw an interception on the first play of the game, which was a poorly designed play. Todd Downing was also awful. And the offense, with everybody back, like you said, mustered 16 damn points.
Mike Vrabel said all the right things after the game, and no coach should ever pin any game on one player or one coach or one person.
But things are obvious.
But I'll say what Mike Vrabel can't. Ryan Tannehill lost this game for the Titans. Plain and simple. It's not on Todd Downing. He wasn't great. He did enough to win the game if Ryan Tannehill's not awful. 3 picks. Opening the game with a pick, and here's my big issue with Ryan Tannehill. When he threw that pick to start the game, I turned to the people I was watching the game with and said, Tannehill's done in this game.
In the tank.
Derrick Henry needs to rush for 240 yards. The Titans are going to win because he's not going to trust his eyes. He's not going to trust what he's seeing. If they have a guy deep open down the field like they did A.J. Brown, he's going to overthrow them by 10 yards.
That was on
because
Brown.
He's going to be scared of throwing another pick. Even in a moment where he should have trusted his eyes to see triple coverage, late, he still tries to force it to Nick Westbrook-Akina. And great, throw it to Ferkser in that play. At least it goes to overtime. But here is the damning part of that game to me. His coaches had no faith in him. They were playing for overtime with the football close to midfield after opening the drive with a completion and a nice gain. They had zero confidence in their quarterback to get them in field goal position. Now let's juxtapose that to the Kansas City-Buffalo finish. Any of those coaches have any issues with those guys going down and getting them in position to score a touchdown or kick a field goal? And that is the gap between the really good and the great. And the Titans will never be great with Ryan Tannehill at quarterback. Plain and simple. I'll admit what a lot of Titans fans are having a hard time coming to grips with today. We saw Ryan Tannehill's ceiling 2 years ago. Or sorry, not this season, the year before. So a year ago. 2020 was his ceiling. He got much worse this year. He was even worse in the playoffs. He's got a passer rating of 50.5 in the postseason. Jared Goff is 79.9. And the Rams traded him away because they could not win a Super Bowl with Jared Goff. And they got Matthew Stafford, who's not exactly the most clutch quarterback in the land. And guess what? Matthew Stafford led his team to an NFC championship with similar talent to what the Titans have around Ryan Tannehill. This is on Ryan Tannehill. They will not win a Super Bowl as long as he is there.